Mehmet Çelik is a journalist and political analyst who is now joining us live from Istanbul. Mr. Çelik, welcome to the program. Good to have you with us. 55 provinces out of 81, and the protests are growing louder and bigger. What's President Erdogan's afraid of?
Well, I don't think this has much to do with Mr. Erdogan and what he's afraid of. I mean, this question itself, I think, needs to be reformulated because Mr. Erdogan has been through many political challenges throughout the past 2 decades, including a failed coup attempt, which, still he came out as a victor in all the elections that he has participated in for the past 2 decades, including the very recent presidential elections, which he gained popularity, majority of the votes. So I think this unrest, which you have called, is, it is very understandable that people are going out the street and protesting as part of their democratic right for a cause that they believe is politically motivated in terms of Mr. İmamoğlu's detention and arrest. But there is much explanation that needs to be done, I think, from both sides. One is that the public must be convinced that this is not a politically motivated move against Mr. İmamoğlu. On the other hand, the opposition also has some explaining to do with regards to some of very strong allegations against Mr. İmamoğlu and other individuals as part of the municipal schemes that has taken place. Now, these are all allegations, and everyone is, of course, innocent until proven guilty. But nevertheless, I think both sides must tackle this lack of communication when it comes to convincing the other side, so that the transparency and this effectiveness of these trials can come to the surface when it comes to a fair and transparent judicial process. Otherwise, the public will not be convinced from both sides, either be it the opposition or those against, or those who are pro-government, that believe Mr. İmamoğlu has been part of some illegal activity during his term as a mayor. But again,
Mr. Çelik, let me just butt in there and try and understand what you're trying to say here. Do you believe there's some sort of misinformation being spread in the Turkish public, considering the dynamics of this case, the allegations that Mr. İmamoğlu is facing?
Well, first of all, most of the details about this case are currently unknown, and the trial itself hasn't begun. So there is some, leaked information and through journalists and other officials as well. But overall, the case is not very well detailedly. They're not very well explained in terms of details because it's a closed case at the moment in terms of sharing the details with the public. But I think, how convinced I am is not something that should be a matter of point, because this is a judicial process and the judiciary must do their work so that the public can be convinced when the results come out. There is a lot of disinformation from both sides, whether it is against Mr. İmamoğlu or whether it comes from the opposition side that has been neglecting answering some of these strong allegations. Of course, there's a lot of political implications related to this case, and it will indeed affect the political outcome of Turkish domestic politics, and how this will be affected. It's something that time will show. But nevertheless, this is the political game at the moment, which the opposition has been utilizing and very well focusing on to move away from the allegations and turning this into a political case is something that will serve in the hands of the opposition, not the AK Party or the government side. So another fact is that many of the complaints against Mr. İmamoğlu are reportedly they have emerged from the opposition sides, opposition lines, including some figures who were linked to his own party. So, there is a lot of misinformation, disinformation that must be cleared. But I think the best will be to leave this to the judiciary and let them do their job.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, Mr. Çelik. Our time is up. Thank you very much for all your insights and all your information and for talking to us today.
Thank you.